If the last time you played WoW was Shadowlands, or Dragonflight, or even further back, the game looks completely different. Blizzard reworked nearly every system, added brand new endgame content, overhauled PvP, and introduced account-wide progression that changes how you play every character. I came back after a break and spent 2 weeks figuring out what changed. Here's everything, so you don't have to waste time being confused. Let's start with the biggest new addition, Delves. If you're coming back and wondering what all the solo players are doing, it's Delves. Delves are bite-sized, repeatable mini-instances. Think of them like solo dungeons. You can run them alone or with up to 4 other players, and you bring an NPC companion named Valeera Sanguiner to help you. Yeah, that Valeera. She fights alongside you, heals you, and her abilities scale with difficulty. There are 11 Delves in Midnight, scattered across the new zones. Each one has unique mechanics, enemies, and a boss at the end. The difficulty scales in tiers start low, push higher as your gear improves. Higher tiers drop better loot. Simple. Here's why Delves matter for returning players: they're the best solo gearing path in the game. You don't need a group. You don't need to do Mythic Plus. You don't need to raid. Delves give you real, progression quality gear entirely solo. Now, some specs handle Delves better than others. Delves are won by control and survivability, not raw DPS. The best solo classes are Blood Death Knight, Vengeance Demon Hunter, Beast Mastery Hunter, Guardian Druid, and Demonology Warlock. Basically, pet classes in tank specs. Your spec must handle elites that spike damage, packs that require crowd control, and bosses that punish you for standing still. That said, every spec can do Delves. The difficulty tiers let you find your comfort zone. Start at tier 1, push until you die, then gear up and push again. Valeera as your companion makes even squishy specs viable. She'll heal you through most mistakes. The loot from Delves feeds directly into the Great Vault, which I'll cover in the PvE section. For now, just know, Delves are solo endgame, they're fun, and they're how you gear up without ever joining a group. If you left WoW because PvP felt like whoever pressed their cooldowns first won, good news. Midnight PvP is completely different. The biggest change, the diminishing returns system, got reworked from the ground up. In the old system, crowd control had 3 diminishing returns before full immunity: half duration, quarter duration, immune. In Midnight, hitting the same CC twice gives you full immunity immediately. 2 cast immunity. The old DR timer was 18 seconds, now it's 16. What does this mean in practice? No more infinite stun lock chains. No more getting hit with 3 fears in a row. You get CC'd once, you trinket or wait it out, and if they try the same CC again, you're immune. This makes PvP way more strategic. You have to plan your CC, not spam it. Rated Solo Shuffle is the main competitive mode. It's 3v3 where teams are shuffled every round. You play 6 rounds, and the system matches your rating based on wins. This is the most accessible rated PvP has ever been. UQ alone, no team needed. Scaling is disabled in rated modes, so your actual PvP item level matters. There's a brand new mode called Battleground Blitz. It replaces the old rated Battlegrounds with an 8v8 format. Objectives are accelerated, matches are faster, and it's cross-faction. You can queue solo for this too. If you like the strategy of Battlegrounds but hated finding 15-person teams, Blitz fixes that. PvP gearing uses conquest points from rated content. Your PvP item level is separate from your PvE item level. And here's the good part: PvP fills its own row in the Great Vault. So even casual PvP gives you gear options every week. The overall meta in Midnight PvP is slower paced and more strategic. Less burst damage, more pressure over time. If you burned out on one-shot comps, Midnight might bring you back. PvE got massive changes too. Let me break down the 3 big ones: Mythic Plus, Raids, and the Great Vault. Mythic Plus still works the same way at its core: timed dungeon runs that get harder as you push higher keys. But the loot and difficulty scaling changed. Plus 10 and higher dungeons now drop myth track gear from the Great Vault. This used to be plus 12 territory. The change makes high-end gear more accessible without having to push insanely high keys. The dungeon rotation changes every season. Midnight Season 1 has its own set of dungeons. Some are new Midnight dungeons, some are reworked classics. Raids in Midnight are different. Instead of one giant raid with 12 bosses, Midnight launched with 3 separate raid instances. Voidspire is the main progression raid with 6 bosses. This is where your tier sets drop. Dreamrift is a single boss encounter, think of it like a bonus raid. And March on Quel'Danas is part of the Midnight story progression. The Great Vault is still your best gear source, but let me explain it for anyone who hasn't played recently. Every week, you fill slots by doing content. 3 slots for Mythic Plus, complete 1, 4, or 8 dungeons. 3 slots for raids, kill 1, 3, or 7 bosses. And 3 slots for PvP or delves. At reset, you pick one piece of gear from your earned options. More content filled means more choices. Now let's talk about the Warband system, because this changes everything. Warbands make your progression account wide. Your reputation and renown track across all characters. Your achievements are Warband wide. You have a shared Warband bank accessible from any character. Currencies, transmog, even housing progression, all shared. The game changer is Warbound gear. Gear now drops as Warbound until equipped. If your main doesn't need a piece, throw it in the Warband bank and your alt can grab it. Your main surplus gear becomes your alt starting gear. This means you don't start over from zero on every new character. This is why picking a main matters more than ever. Push one character hard, and the entire rest of your account benefits. Okay, you're back in the game. You've heard about delves, PvP, raids, and Mythic Plus. But what do you actually do to gear up efficiently? Here's the path. Phase 1, hit max level through the campaign. The Midnight campaign is mandatory, it unlocks world quests, reputation tracks, and endgame systems. Don't skip it. Don't grind mobs. Just quest. Phase 2, run delves solo until your gear stops improving. Push higher tiers as your item level increases. This is your foundation. No groups needed. Phase 3, start filling your Great Vault every week. Aim for at least 1 entry in every row, 1 Mythic Plus dungeon, 1 raid boss, and a few delves or PvP matches. More entries means more choices on reset day. Phase 4, push Mythic Plus keys. Start at plus 2 and work your way up. Plus 10 gives you access to Myth track gear from the vault. This is where your biggest upgrades come from. Phase 5, raid weekly. Even if you only kill a few bosses, the tier set bonuses are huge power increases. Join in normal or heroic pug, get your kills, and check the vault on reset. Weekly checklist, campaign quests if available. 3 or more Mythic Plus dungeons. At least 1 raid boss. Several delves at your highest tier. A few PvP matches for vault options. Profession knowledge activities. World quests for reputation. That's the loop. Do it every week and your gear climbs fast. One more thing, Apex talents. At level 81, you unlock 10 new talent points. 3 go to your class tree, 3 to hero talents, and 4 to your spec tree. The Apex talent is a 4-point capstone at the bottom of your spec tree, it's a massive power increase. Look up your spec's Apex talent on Wowhead and plan your build before you hit 81. Quick overview of what's specifically new in Midnight the expansion. Setting, Quel'Danas. The Blood Elf homeland. New zones include updated Eversong Woods, Zulaman, and a new zone called Harrender. The story is Light vs. Void, centered around the Sunwell. Apex talents, already covered, but they're the major progression feature. 10 new points that make your character significantly stronger. Professions, knowledge point system continues from previous expansions. 24 free points per profession from zone treasures. Crafting orders system lets you commission items from other players. Housing, Midnight introduces player housing. It's a personal instance you customize, and housing level is Warband wide. Mostly cosmetic but some functional perks. And the class reworks. Nearly every spec got touched in the Midnight pre-patch. Major overhauls hit rogues from the ground up, Shadow Priest lost Devouring Plague and got Shadow Word Madness, Arms Warrior had Avatar reworked, and Unholy Death Knight got a full pet system overhaul. If you're returning to a specific class, look up what changed, it might play very differently. That's everything you need to know to come back to WoW for Midnight. Delves for solo play, revamped PvP, 3 raids, the Warband account-wide system, and Apex talents at 81. The game is in a good spot. If you've been thinking about coming back, now's the time. I'm covering every spec and every system on this channel. Subscribe and hit the bell, I'll see you in Quel'Danas. When did you last play WoW? Drop it in the comments, I'm curious how far back some of you are coming from.